In the previous class, we selected an arbitrary signal x of n, and that arbitrary signal x of n can be represented as sigma m equivalent to minus infinity to plus infinity x of m delta of n minus m. That is, any arbitrary signal x of n can be represented in terms of impulse function. Okay? So this is the representation of x of n as sum of weighted impulse function. Is it? So it is x of 0 multiplied with delta of n, x of 1 multiplied with delta of n minus 1, x of 2 multiplied with delta of n minus 1. Okay? So it is weighted sum of impulse functions. Each impulse is weighted by a particular value, x of 0, x of 1, x of 2, so on. So this is the representation of x of n in terms of impulse function. Okay? Now we apply this input to a discrete time LTI system whose impulse response is h of n. Then find the y of n. So we have to evaluate the y of n. So if you observe this, as it is a linear system, the output can, that is, the input can be decomposed into some individual inputs. Okay? Apply each input separately, find the individual responses. Then sum of all the individual responses to get the total response. So that's why first you apply the first component. What is the first component here? X of 0 multiplied with delta of n, is it? Now it is an LTI system. What will be the output? What will be the output? See, if the input is delta of n, what is the output? H of n, is it? The input is delta of n, output is h of n. Now the input is some constant into delta of n, output is constant into delta of n. That is the scaling property. Now take the same system with impulse response h of n. The input is x of 1 multiplied with delta of n minus 1, the next value here. Okay, we expand the summation. This can be written as x of 0 into delta of n plus x of 1 delta of n minus 1 plus so on. Okay, and this side we have x of minus 1 delta of n plus 1 plus all the terms. Okay, first we consider this. We applied this as input and obtained the corresponding output. Now apply x of 1 into delta of n minus 1. What will be the output? It is x of 1 into h of n minus 1. Why? Because the input is delayed, output will also be delayed, because the system is a time invariant system. And so on. Well, x of some r into h of the delta of n minus r, rth term. So this will be given to the system, and the system will produce x of r into h of n minus r. This is the rth term. Okay. And so on. Like this will be continued in this. Okay. See, this is the response of the system for this input. This is the response of the system for this input. This is the response of the system for this input. Okay. See, if you add all these, inputs, you will get this. Is it? The x of n is sum of these inputs. So therefore, what will the y of n now? Y of n will be equivalent to sum of all these. So this I have written for the positive values of m. If you do it for negative values of m here, x of, if it is x of minus 1 into delta of n plus 1, output will be x of minus 1 into h of n plus 1. So therefore, what will the y of n now? Sum of the individual responses. Is it? What is y of n now? Can I write y of n as m equivalent to minus infinity to plus infinity x of m h of n minus m? Is that right? So this equation is very important for. So this is the relationship between the output and input of an LTA system in terms of the impulse response. So if the impulse response of the system is given, we can find the response of the system for any arbitrary input. Okay. So here, this equation is called as the convolution sum. I think you might have studied the convolution integral. That is integral minus infinity to plus infinity x of tau some h of t minus tau d tau is a convolution integral. See, this is similar to that of this equation. Okay. Integral minus infinity to plus infinity, okay, x of tau h of t minus tau. The integration is analogous to summation. Therefore, this particular summation is called as the convolution. What about this? This is the convolution integral. This is the convolution integral and this is the convolution sum. So here, if you replace n minus m equivalent to p in the above equation, then this y of n is equivalent to sigma p equivalent to minus infinity to plus infinity. Here how much you will get? X of m is p minus n. And m is n minus p and x of n minus h of p. Is it right? Substitute n minus m equivalent to p in this equation. Then p tends to minus infinity to plus infinity because m is tending from minus infinity to plus infinity. So p will also take the same values. So here this first equation is represented as x of n convolution with h of n. Okay. So x of n is convolution with h of n. That is, if you convolve the input and impulse response, you will get the output of the system. Y of n equivalent to x of n convolution with h of n. So this can also be written as, now if you see this, it is h of p x of n minus p. Is it right? Can I write this as sigma minus infinity to plus infinity h of p x of n minus p, same equation. So this can be written as h of n convolution with x of n. So this indicates the convolution is commutative. Is it? The commutative property of convolution. So there are three important properties of convolution. One is commutation, another is association, another one is distribution. The convolution is commutative, associative, and distributive. Okay. Is it clear to you? So now we consider this is an LTI system with impulse response h1 of n, and its input is x of n. Then here, what will be the output? X of n convolution with h1 of n. That is, here I considered an LTI system with impulse response h1 of n, and the corresponding output is. Now you apply this output that is, what does it mean? See, the output of the first system is connected to the input of the second system. Two systems are connected in cascade. Okay. See, the output of the second system, the impulse response of the second system is h2 of n. Now what will be the output? X of n convolution with h1 of n. Okay. So this is the input to the second system. Okay. So therefore impulse response is h2 of n. So the output of the second system is input convolution with is that right? What this indicates? Can I write this as x of n convolution with h1 of n? The convolution is a linear operation. Can I write in this way? Here first we convert x of n with h1 of n and then convolve with h2 of n. Now we are convolving x of n with h1 of n convolution with h2 of n. That is, here we can connect these two systems in cascade. That is, these two systems can be replaced by a single system. A cascade of two systems can be replaced by a single system whose impulse response is given by h1 of n convolution with h2 of n. Okay. If the input is x of n, now what will the y of n? This y of n is equivalent to x of n convolution with h1 of n convolution with h2 of n. Follow? That is, here we can write this x of n convolution with h1 of n, and this is convolved with h2 of n, can be equated to x of n convolution with h1 of n convolution with h2 of n. So from this we can conclude that when two systems are cascaded, then the impulse response of the overall system is equivalent to convolution between individual impulse responses. Okay. So here this property is the, what is this? So associative property of the convolution. So according to the associative property of the convolution, okay, when two systems are in cascade, then the impulse response of the overall system is convolution of the individual impulse response. Can we extend this to n systems? If n number of systems are connected in cascade, then the impulse response of the overall system is equivalent to h1 of n convolution with h2 of n convolution with h3 of n and so on. Hn of n. Similarly, you can see the distribution. So if you consider a system with impulse response H1 of n, and there is another system which is connected in parallel with impulse response H2 of n. Then, if you let the input is x of n, the output y of n is equivalent to, see here, what is the output of the first system? Is x of n convolution with h1 of n. What is the output of the second system? It is x of n convolution with h2 of n. Therefore, it is x of n convolution with h1 of n plus x of n convolution with h2 of n. Now, if you consider the system with impulse response h of n, the input is x of n and the output is y of n. What is the output here? This is equivalent to x of n convolution with h of n. Now, if you let this h of n is equivalent to h1 of n plus h2 of n. Okay. Let h of n equivalent to h1 of n plus h2 of n. Then this can be written as x of n convolution with x1 of n plus h2 of n. Is it clear, please? Yeah, h. So now can I equate these two? Both are same. So what that indicates? When two systems are connected in parallel, then the overall system impulse response is equal to sum of the individual impulse responses. When two systems are connected in cascade, the impulse response, overall impulse response is convolution between individual impulse responses. Here it is sum of the individual impulse responses. This is the distribution property of the convolution. Convolution is commutative, convolution is associative, and convolution is distributive. So these are the three laws of convolution. Three important properties of convolution. We try to remember these three properties. So according to these three, we can, from associative law, when two systems are connected in cascade, the overall system impulse response can be evaluated. When two systems are connected in parallel, then overall system impulse response can be evaluated from the distribution. So what is the significance of the commutative law, the previous one? Here. So with this property, see, if you consider the system with impulse response h of n, the input is x of n, the output is y of n. Now, if you interchange the role of the input and impulse response, that is, here you write h of n and this is x of n. Again, what you will get? You will get y of n. Why? Because here y of n equivalent x of n convolution with h of n. Here y of n equivalent to h of n convolution with x of n. These two are equal. Why? Because the convolution is committed. What this indicates, if you change the role of the input and impulse response, there is no change in the system response. Okay? The output of the system will not be changed when you interchange the role of the input and output of the system, especially in the mathematical analysis of the systems. Okay? This relation is very, very important. Okay? Of course, in practice we cannot replace because the impulse response of the system depends on the system parameters. But here we can replace the impulse response with the input. Our impulse response and input can be interchanged, but the output of the system will not change according to this commutative law of the convolution. Understood? Now we try to find the step response of the LTS system. So if the x of n is equivalent to u of n, then the corresponding output y of n is called as the step response of the system. There is a response of the system to a step function is called as the step response. So here we try to find the y of n. We know that this is equivalent to minus infinity to plus infinity. X of n, h of n minus infinity. Is that right? So this is equivalent to minus infinity to plus infinity. What is x of m? X of n is u of n. So x of m is u of n. Is it? This is h of n minus infinity. See, when the input is u of n, the output is called the s of n, the step response. Now, can I write this as sigma m equivalent to 0 to infinity h of n minus n? Is it right? Why? Because u of m equivalent to 1 for n greater than or equivalent to 0, 0 for m less than 0. So here summation is extending from minus infinity to plus infinity. Therefore, from minus infinity to minus 1, the summation becomes 0 because the unit step function is 0 from minus infinity to minus 1. From 0 to infinity it is 1. So therefore, u of m can be replaced with 1. So this is the step response. See, we already know that u of n equivalent to sigma k equivalent to 0 to infinity delta of n minus 1. We know the relationship between unit step and unit impulse function. This is the relationship between unit step response and unit impulse response. See, S of n is the step response, H of n is the impulse response. If you know the impulse response, we can find step response. Both are related. Now we take one more equation. That is, I write this y of n as sigma m equivalent to minus infinity to plus infinity. This is h of m x of n minus n. Is it right? Both are same. This equation and this equation both are same. Convolution is commutative. Now from this, if you substitute x value, this is h of m. What is x of n minus m? U of n minus m. So then it will become the step response. But we already know that u of n minus m is equivalent to 1 for n minus m greater than or equivalent to 3. Is it right? This can be written as n greater than or equivalent to m or m less than or equivalent to n. And this will be 0 for n minus m less than 0 or m greater than 0. Okay. So therefore, the step response of the system is equivalent to sigma. See, from m less than or equivalent to n, that is m is equivalent to minus infinity to n, that is m is less than or equivalent to n. U of n minus m is 1. For remaining values, for m greater than n, that is n plus 1, n plus 2, it is 0. Therefore, this is another expression. Both are same. See, this is the step response and this is also the step response. So you can give two different expressions. But here the summation is extending from 0 to infinity. Here it is extending from minus infinity to n. So both are the valid expressions for the step response of the, or both are the relationship, both equations indicate the relationship between the step response and the impulse response. Follow? So here, now we take this equation, S of n is equivalent to sigma m equivalent to minus infinity to n h of n. Here, what is S of n minus 1? This can be written as S. Any problem? Then concentrate here. Feeling hungry? Still time is there. Okay? See, if you miss all these things, so you will miss many things. So concentrate here. This is n minus 1 h of, we got, you replace n by n minus 1 on both sides. Now write S of n minus S of n minus 1. Subtract S of n minus 1 from S of n. Then what you will get? This is sigma minus infinity to plus infinity h of m minus sigma m equivalent to minus infinity to this is minus infinity to n. Is it right? See, this is from minus infinity to n and this is from minus infinity to n minus 1. Okay? So only one term will be left. What is that? H of n. Therefore, this S of n minus S of n minus 1 is equivalent to H of n. What is H of n? Impulse response. So if the step response is given, you can find the impulse response. If the impulse response is known, we can find the step response. So this is the relationship between the impulse response and the step response. S of n is equivalent to m equivalent to minus infinity to n h of m, or otherwise the same S of n can also be written as m equivalent to 0 to infinity h of n minus n. So this is the impulse response in terms of step response, and these two equations indicates the step response in terms of impulse response. You can use either this equation or this equation, both are same. Understood? Write down a problem, simple problem. A discrete time LTA system, a discrete time LTA system is described by a discrete time LTA system is described by its impulse response h of n equivalent to a power n u of n is described by h of n equivalent to a power n u of n. A discrete time LTA system is described by impulse response h of n equivalent to a power n u of n. Find the step response. Find the step response. Find S of n. You complete this problem and the problem that I already given. Okay? Try to complete the two problems.